My name is Dr. Eric Arzubi. I am chair of the psychiatry department at the Billings Clinic, and I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist. As you reflect on how you parent, this might be helpful to think about 3 common parenting styles. And you may fall within one of those, or you might find that at different times you parent across different styles, but I think it might be helpful to think about. So first is there's authoritarian parenting, and that is the kind of parenting where there's a lot of giving orders, you know, Johnny do this, Johnny do that. That's one style. The other style is permissive parenting. Permissive parenting is where there's a lot of giving in, so not sticking to certain limits and boundaries. And then the other style is giving choices, sort of balancing freedom and balancing setting limits. And I'd argue that sort of the giving choices one might be the most effective, right? Because when you think about the authoritarian parenting, the giving orders, what you really want to try to do is develop a trusting relationship with the child. You want the child to trust you and not fear you. The other piece is that you want to give the child the chance to make choices. Why? Well, if you teach a child how to make choices, you're going to teach that child to become independent over time. And if you're constantly telling the child what to do without giving some choices, and again, giving choices doesn't mean they can do whatever they want, but it means giving some guidelines around those choices. So again, giving orders is going to be less likely to lead to developing a child who becomes independent and thinking self-sufficiently. So one of the things we need to keep in mind is that when we're parenting, we're actually modeling and setting an example. So, sometimes authoritative parenting can become a little bit harsh, loud, can lead to yelling, in some cases hitting. And I think it's important to remember that kids really need to see that we're the example and we can actually model calm ways to solve problems and make requests. So using calm words, trying not to yell, not to hit, and show that these are the ways to solve problems. And again, I make the same mistakes everybody else does. There are moments when we all lose control. We're human. And I think we just need to be sensitive to that, and we're starting to lose our patience to be able to step away or step back and come back to things when they're calm, because that's something that we should all be trying to model for our kids, and that's sort of the way to solve these problems and situations. The next part is permissive parenting. That's sort of the second style, and giving in. That might happen when some parents might feel uncomfortable in setting limits, or they feel it might be too harsh to their child. Well, the truth is that kids get more anxious if they don't have limits or structure. One of the risks of permissive parenting and trying to be, let's say, too permissive or not setting enough rules or boundaries around children is that these children sometimes learn that what they want is most important, and that makes it difficult for them to understand that other people's feelings are important as well. And so again, that's one of the risks and dangers of permissive parenting. Going to the final parenting style out of the 3 is giving choices, and remembering that giving choices will allow you to balance the freedom with limit setting. So again, what we need to try to do is set limits, but give choices within those limits. So again, be okay with the choices that you give your children, but give them choices, because then again, that makes them feel empowered. Also, I think it'd be helpful to ask kids about their ideas for family decisions. So if the family's trying to decide, let's say, I don't know, what car to buy or where to go on vacation or something else, or if you're going to move and think about a home, having kids feel like they're part of the decision-making process, I think, is critical. They want to feel included, and they want to feel like they belong, and these are good ways to doing that. The other thing about giving choices is it shows kids that you respect their decisions, you respect their opinions, and it's validating. A lot of times, one of the best ways to think about parenting is imagine how you would like to be treated. So let's say you have a boss, and you might have bosses that are any one of these 3 categories as well. Either too authoritarian, they're too permissive, but some kind of give you choices. Well, imagine yourself in those situations and think about what might be most effective for you as someone who worked for this person. That's the same sort of thought that might go into thinking about how you'd like to parent. And then finally, when children are taking part in these decisions, they feel like their opinions actually count and matter. And again, as we talked about earlier, is trying to help a child feel validated, valued, will help them turn into a responsible and independent adult.